Satsangeshwari-samarambam Nithyanandeshwari-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. इस समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, Srimahans, Mahans, Kotaris, Tanedars sitting with us through Nithyananda TV, Sadhana TV, Lotus TV, Janashri TV, Ishwar TV, and through two-way video conferencing, having Nayanadiksha in many cities, many countries around the world. The cities sitting with us through two-way video conferencing, having Nayanadiksha, Dakota Dunes, Houston Kalahasti, Chicago Srirangam, Hyderabad Guptakashi, San Jose Madurai, High Point North Carolina, Nithyananda Nagaramu Hyderabad, Nithyananda Nagara Bidadi, Jenkintown Pennsylvania, London Kashi, Bangalore North, Dubai Vaidyanatham, Jorpati Nepal, Seramban Shivagashi, Pidadishwari's Training Center Salem, Jorpati Nepal, San Jose Madurai, High Point North Carolina, Nithyanandeshwara Hindu Temple Charlotte, Seattle Chidambaram Guadalupe Rameshwaram Ohio Ma Shivananda, Singapore Singapuram Los Angeles Arunachalam Ohio Prayag, Vancouver Bhubaneswar Toronto Kailasam, Bidadi Nithyananda Nagara Bidadi Oklahoma Somanatham, Guadalajara Mexico, Tiruvanmiyur Chennai Coimbatore Dhyanapeetham, Doncaster UK, Oman Sivagangai, Sungaipattani Padamudircholai, Bangalore North, London Kashi, Jenkintown Pennsylvania, Dubai Vaidyanatham, Pidadishwari's Training Center Salem, Hong Kong. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. I'll expand on some of the basic truths about living. Means pulling these principles into the life, tuning our strategies with these truths. It is like a journey with the Ganga. Please understand, the moment you are here automatically for the morning satsang, you know inner awakening has started. You are all here morning automatically. Please understand, inner awakening is a pure spiritual awakening to your reality. Being sure about what you want. You need to know one of the important truths is all this theology light does not work for life. I have seen so many theology light gurus. Means smile, be happy, blow your nose 7 times. Theology light means attending to problems as individual problems and having few solutions. I call them only as theology light gurus. Theology light is not theology right. Be very clear. Okay, it may give you that feel-good feeling for a few days. But it is not eternally attending to the problem, eternally attending to the life. Please understand, this you have to know. Theology light people always associate difficulty with the theology right, because they never got the theology right. That is why they started living and teaching with the theology light. I tell you, as the guru of theology right who got it, it is not difficult. It is not difficult. Whether it is a problem or a solution should be looked holistically. Theology light is not going to solve the life. As I said, they may give you little feel-good feeling, excitement, like positive thinking, creative visualization, how to stop worrying and start living. All this kind of how to win friends and influence people in your life, this kind of books, this kind of people, the self-help, personality development. Please understand. But they will never be able to give you cognitive shift. Theology right gives you cognitive shift. Theology light gives you intellectual coating. I am not the guru who paints you with a new coat. I am the guru who scraps even the base and clean the whole thing. Living tirelessly, without boredom, constantly. Your very thinking should be flowing with authenticity. Your very talking should be flowing with integrity. Your words, internal, external, should be completely in tune with integrity. Your thinking flow should be continuously with authenticity. The way you feel about life should be continuously responsible. You should know very clearly in your feeling, you are the source of everything. With that feeling, you should know you are responsible for everything. Continuously, your feelings should be filled with responsibility. Your living should be constantly enriching you and others. I tell you the secret. Only in the initial days it may look like you need to change some of the actions, routine, day-to-day life and all that. But soon you will find the change in the decision. First of all, even if there is a change in action, you don't struggle or suffer with it. Second, many places you may not even need the change in action. Change in thinking is what I teach. Change in action may happen as a subtext. The context of my teaching is change in thinking, decision making. Subtext may be change in actions, change in acts. Maybe side effect, maybe change in acts. But the original context with which I am teaching, the context which I am expecting you to operate, changing your decisions. There should not be anything in your life makes you powerless. I run out your whole day, nothing can make you powerless. Nothing can make you powerless. Anything which makes you powerless, don't accept, don't resist. For example, if you are afraid of becoming poor, if you are afraid of getting married, if you are afraid of death, if you are afraid of getting into the prison, that somebody may put you in prison, if you are afraid of taking sannyas, whatever may be the fear, don't accept, don't get married. When I say, please listen, if you have fear, about poverty or sannyas or marriage or prison or death, whatever, don't accept that option. Same way, don't go on resisting that option by remembering. Please understand, by the time you resist, you already visualized which you are resisting, and half of your power has gone to the visualization. You are in the space of powerlessness. From powerlessness, when you resist, be very clear, it is only going to be failure. I have always seen the fellow who resists marriage, before he wakes up, he is married already. The fellow who resists poverty, before he wakes up, he is poor already. The fellow who resists jail, before he wakes up, he is in jail already. The fellow who resists death, before he wakes up, he is dead already. Resists jail, before he wakes up, he is in jail already. Do not resist and do not accept. Please understand, when you have to drop the resistance towards marriage, one part of you always frightens you. Then it means you want me to accept marriage? No, nobody tells you to get married. Nobody is ready to marry you, don't worry. It's not that marriage is that easy. And same way, nobody is ready to give sannyas to you, don't worry. It is not that sannyas is that easy. And nobody is ready to put you in jail, don't worry, that is not that easy. So much money, who will spend on your food and taking care of you? And nobody is interested in putting you in poverty, don't worry. Nobody has enough time to conspire and put you in poverty and take away all you have. No, don't worry. Understand, whatever you are afraid of, when you do not resist them, when you do not accept them, the inner circuit with which you built is revealed to you. You need to know the circuit to know which switch is connected to which equipment and to repair any wrong connections. All powerlessness is a wrong connection in your inner circuit. Wrong connection means fuse will go, that's all. All your depression means fuse has gone in you. Means some wrong connection the fuse has gone. So understand, most of the time things which you resist, you think it's almost waiting in your door. If you fall asleep, he will enter and secretly he will be in your bed. Whether it is poverty or marriage or prison or sannyas or death, whatever you are afraid of, and I have not told many things, I only gave you some few examples which I heard from people, whatever they are afraid of. I can give you 1000 examples, millions of examples, things people are afraid of. Some are afraid of waking up in the morning. No, I know. There are some who are afraid of going to bed early in the evening. They wake up so tired and go to bed so fresh. It means what? Wrong connection? The psychological routine and the physiological routine is not connected with completion. Waking up fresh from the space of Advaita, going to bed just to fall into the space of Advaita, means physiological routine and psychological routine is circuited with completion wire. There are only two kinds of people in the planet Earth, whose physiological circuit and psychological circuit is connected with completion, whose connection is with incompletion. That's all. I tell you, every night before falling asleep, sit and do completion with whatever you are experiencing. If you are experiencing tiredness, complete with it. If you are experiencing boredom, complete with it. If you are experiencing the feeling scared, complete with it. In few days you will see your biological clock and psychological clock is synchronized. When both of them are synchronized, certain energy is released in you. A synergy happens, is called what I call Kundalini Shakti. Synergy of the biological clock and psychological clock. When your mind touches your body, you know the oneness you are feeling, the non-dualness you are feeling is only becoming perception. When your psychological clock disappearing into physiological clock, you know the oneness you are feeling, the non-dualness you are feeling, you are resting into it. Again and again and again. I tell you, even in our Sangha, all the responsible Swamis, responsible people I have seen, it is invariably always from their dedication to completion. There is nobody, not a single fellow whom I know in our Sangha or among our devotees or the circle which I am seeing, means at least few lakh people. There is nobody who is efficient but not in the space of completion, who is complete and not efficient. No. Completion is connecting the biological and psychological clock with a proper circuit. If you wake up morning tired and lie down in the bed in the night fresh, awake, There is something seriously wrong in the biological and psychological clock connection. Night before falling asleep, complete. And one more thing, don't be afraid of insomnia. That is the another one biggest problem humanity faces. When you lie down and don't fall asleep, immediately you start getting the fear. I think I am having insomnia, I am not getting sleep and all that. Decide very clearly, no. If I don't get sleep, great, let me start thinking and strategizing, planning for next things I have to do, that's all. The fear of insomnia is worse than real insomnia. As I always tell, the fear of snake is worse than snake bite. One of the doctor disciples, she was telling me, Swamiji, there is a lot of dry deaths in the water related accident. Means the person has fallen into water. Water has not gone into his system and choked his lungs and dead. No, lungs are dry, everything is dry in the system. Just the fear, he gets heart attack and dies. She says, Swamiji, the studies say more than 80% of the deaths in the snake bite, the poison never reaches the brain and locks, chokes the body. Just by heart attack that they are bitten by the snake, people die. When we do the post-mortem, we see poison is not mixed with the blood. Poison has not gone into the brain. Poison has not caused the death. Most of the snakes are poisonless. That is another funny thing. So the fear of insomnia. In India, there is a group of doctors all over the country, not in one state, constantly publicize about this impotency. The advertisement will be written such an intelligent way, anyone who reads will feel that he is impotent. 11 o'clock advertisement in all the TV channels, in all the magazines, yellow journals. The advertisement lines will be so tricky, anyone will be tricked to doubt that they are impotent. Are you sneezing 3 times a day? Are you losing interest with your partner? Are you losing interest in the life? Are you above 35-40? They will put such a lines, every fellow who reads that advertisement will feel he is impotent. The moment you get the fear you are impotent, gone. Now your income, your salary is theirs. Like in US, the psychiatric drugs, how they are advertised. In the TV you can see. Are you feeling or thinking you are tired morning and evening? Are you feeling bored at the night 10 o'clock? Are you having knee pain after walking 20 miles a day? Is your hair standing straight? They will ask such a questions, then it is confirmed you may have some apathy maniac, new name, which they discovered recently. Contact your doctor immediately. Call now. Call now. Call now. The research report says 79% of the death may be associated to this disease. One of the symptoms will be Or you all the time like to lie down in the bed? And then when you go there and look into the research paper, it will say, yes, 90% of the people die while they are lying in the bed. That is the connection between the advertisement and the research. Now it is so technically put into your system. First thing, stop this resistance. Resistance keeps you as a child, immature, ungrown. Please understand. Every time you remember the snake, allow the fear of snake to fill you, you are just biting yourself like a snake bite. Please understand. So neither accept nor reject, resist. Sit and look in how you did this wiring inside you. Means, for example, if you are constantly afraid of marriage, first look in. Who put this fear of marriage in your life, when it started? If you are constantly afraid of poverty, look in and see who put this fear of poverty in you and when it started. I am not saying don't become poor or don't go on resisting this fear. In a website, there is a 50 common signs and symptoms of stress. If I read out, you guys will be shocked. Frequent headaches, jaw clenching or pain, gritting, grinding teeth, stuttering or stammering, tremors, trembling of lips, hands, neck ache, back pain, muscle spasms, lightheadedness, faintness, dizziness, ringing, buzzing or popping sounds, frequent blushing and sweating, cold or sweaty hands, feet, dry mouth problems swallowing, frequent colds, infections, herpes sores, rashes, itching, hives, goosebumps, unexplained or frequent allergy attacks, heat burn, stomach pain, nausea, excess belching, flatulence. I have only read 15 points. If I read all the 50 symptoms, now understand, first, the moment you resist something, you have become a victim. If you are afraid of death, I am not saying commit suicide. But don't go on allowing that fear to be living inside you. I am not saying if you are afraid of marriage, get married. No. If you are afraid of sannyas, take sannyas. No. If you are afraid of jail, get into the prison. No. All I am saying is stop acceptance, stop resistance. Tell, fool, I don't have to be all the time choosing. In Tamil Nadu, there is a bunch of blackmailer media fellows. They constantly appear wherever I go for public and try to harass me and try to get something out of me to create controversial news. They will constantly ask, what is your opinion about this? What is your opinion about that? I told them once, I am a sadhu. I don't have to have opinion about everything. Only you fellows survive on opinions. You thrive on opinions. Only you need to have opinion about everything. I don't need to have opinion about everything. The moment I answered, those few blackmailers, they started talking to each other. He's too brilliant, you can't catch him. Because the moment you bend to the idea, You have to have an opinion about everything and you blurt out some nonsense and that group is going to be against you. They will ask, what is your opinion about all the Hindu temple money is being spent on Hajj Yatra? I may not have opinion, but now the moment I give my opinion, one group is going to start. They will instigate any one of that group to start their fight with me. And then they will have news. News has use for them, not for me. The moment I said, I don't have to have an opinion about everything, I am a sadhu. This fellow is so intelligent, you can't exploit him. I tell you, life is also like a bright, brilliant energy. Whenever your mind is the blackmailing journalist who comes and stretches the mic all the time to you and asks, what is your opinion about marriage? What is your opinion about sannyas? What is your opinion about snake bite? What is your opinion about poverty? If you say, no, I am courageous, I don't care about anything, then how about having a snake bite? Don't you understand? You are talking to a fool. Don't do that mistake. He will get you into trouble. He'll ask, how about, what is your opinion about sannyas? No, I am not afraid of it. I have already renounced everything. If you say, then how about taking it? If you say, no, I am afraid, I don't want, then what kind of a human being you are? You can't even renounce. You are so attached to everything. All the time, you are made to give some opinion and you are exploited, further questioned because of that opinion. No, you don't need to. You do not need to. Please understand. All you need to do is understand very clearly. You neither need to accept nor need to resist. Because any stand you take, you are gone. You become powerless now. Sit and see, how did you make this circuit? The fellows who have taken sannyas out of powerlessness are failures. The fellows who have not taken sannyas out of powerlessness, out of resistance, failures. You neither need to take nor need to avoid, just see, look into when did you develop this fear? Who put that fear in you? When you started developing this fear, complete with it and relax and be powerful, that's all. All the time be powerful is the religion of Hindus. Always be powerful is the tradition of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. It is neither giving you the instruction to get married or not to get married or get married how many number of times you. Sanatana Dharma is neither suppression nor licentiousness. It teaches you Swadharma, means doing what you want from the space of powerfulness. Being always in the space of powerfulness and operating from powerfulness is what is called Swadharma. Understand? Sanatana Hindu Dharma teaches Swadharma. Sanatana Hindu Dharma teaches Swadharma. It neither teaches you Grihastha, nor teaches you sannyasa, or teaches you play by life. It teaches you Swadharma. Be powerful about what you are. Be powerful about what you stand for. Be powerful about what you want to do for. That's all. Be powerful about what you are, what you stand for, and what you want to do. That's all. Let there not be powerlessness between these three. Over. Swadharma is life. Swadharma is experience. Swadharma is enlightenment. Actually, if you are afraid of snake, death, marriage, poverty, sannyas, whatever, if you sit without accepting, without rejecting, and look into you and see when this fear started in me, how I started developing this fear, suddenly you will start laughing at your fear, which foolishly you built as a circuit in which you are caught. It is like the net you built, you are struggling with it because you enjoy struggle. All that time being in struggle makes you feel you are great, which is not required, which is not true. Essence of today's satsang, Swadharma, always being in the space of powerfulness with what you are, what you stand for, what you want to do. Do not allow powerlessness in all these three. Be always powerful in all these three. That is what is Swadharma. Your Swadharma is what Sanatana Dharma teaches you. Live your Swadharma is what my teaching to you. Neither you need to take sannyas, nor you need to get married, or you need to be in poverty, or you need to be committing suicide. Do not accept, do not resist. Look into your powerlessness, why you built it, what you built it, and complete with it. That's all. That's all. Laugh at your fear. The moment you laugh at your fear loses its power over you. It becomes powerless. That is why your enemies cannot tolerate your laughter. That is why all my enemies have just disappeared. The only thing which destroyed them is my laughter. I did not do anything. I just kept on laughing. The burning they experienced, the powerlessness they experienced, they just collapsed. Shankara conquered all his enemies by argument, his logic. Vivekananda conquered all his enemies just by laughing at them, not bothered. Ramanuja conquered all his enemies by outliving them. He just started living 150 years. All his enemies have died when they were 50, 60, 70, and he went on living. He just conquered them by outliving them. I am going to do all the three. Understand? Shankara conquered them by debates, arguments, his logical strength. Vivekananda conquered them by laughing at them, making them powerless. Ramanuja conquered them by outliving them. I am going to do all the three, understand? Logic, laughter, life, longevity. Logic, laughter, longevity. Through all the three L, I am going to make them lifeless. I am going to conquer them. Understand? They collapse by themselves. I don't need to do anything. So, essence of today's satsang, live your swadharma. All the fears you developed about things with which you resist, you will understand it is just foolishness. It is just foolishness. I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching and causing eternal bliss. Nithyananda. Thank you.
Nithyananda Dhyanapītam, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.